Hello guys! I once did a video for what comics could be adapted into TV series. This time I'm gonna go in the opposite direction and tell you some comics I think could be made into movies. I will try to be as brief as possible, and I decided not to include any Batman titles since, I've already talked so much about Batman on this channel already. Okay, I got 5 titles, so let's start with Dilbert. For those that don't know, I am a huge Dilbert fan, and the comic strips is almost a worldwide phenomenon. Plus, the animated series has shown that these characters can work in longer stories. Now, I know that not everything that works in drawings works in live action. For instance, the character designs might give Dilbert a certain charm in the comics, but it would be off-putting in live action. The human characters should be played by real actors, but I think the animals should be done in CGI. Because I can't imagine a Dilbert movie without Catbert and Dogbert. Also, I have a fun idea on how to remake Bob the dinosaur. Because, come on, Bob is not that funny. He's a dinosaur where there shouldn't be any dinosaurs. That's the joke. So my idea is to remake him, to make him into one of the velociraptors from Jurassic Park, and give him sort of a split personality. So 1 minute he can be running wild in the office and eat people, and and in the next minute he can be a mild-mannered engineer with the intelligent comments. Now, I am planning to do a casting video for which actor should play the different roles. But I will tell you right now who I think should direct. My first pick is the Coen brothers, since the jokes and the storyline in many of their movies is pretty similar to Dilbert. My second pick would be Mike Judge. He directed Beavis and Butthead Do America and Idiocracy, and I think a Dilbert movie should fit right into his filmography. Beavis and Butthead is, after all, about 2 idiots bred by an idiot culture and spreads that stupidity. Idiocracy is about an average intelligent man that ends up in a world where everyone is dumber than him. And I have always seen Dilbert to be about very smart people in a world ruled by idiots. So yeah, that was pretty much all my ideas for Dilbert. Okay, next up is Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, my favorite comic book after Watchmen. It's an incredibly dark but incredibly funny comedy about a homicidal teenager. Some fans have suggested a black and white stop-motion film, something in the style of Frankenweenie. And I completely agree. Stop motion would be the perfect medium to bring the characters to life, especially the character designs. The only problem I can see is that Johnny the Homicidal Maniac is definitely not family friendly, and nowadays there is not a very big market for adult animated movies. But, maybe we get lucky. Identity Crisis. Yeah, Batman is in it, but it's not really a Batman title. So, yeah, that's why I put it here. First, let me say what I think about DC trying to make their own cinematic universe like the Avengers did. Personally, I think they should have stuck with the original idea and made Justice League first, and then give Superman, Aquaman, and the rest their own movies. You see, not every movie needs to be an origin story. In Lord of the Rings, for example, more than half of all the characters had already been through their origins. And throughout the story, we got to know them while they interacted with each other. In American Psycho, we don't get to see how Bateman becomes a psychopath. He's already a serial killer. But, now we get The Flash and the world's finest movie, which might get great. Now, Identity Crisis could of course not be the first Justice League movie, but it could be the sequel. Why do I think this should be turned into a live-action movie? Well, first of all, it's a great story. It's a murder mystery that reveals a lot of the issues with superheroes. It's also a very personal story for many of these heroes. Second reason, many of the character designs in this was actually modeled after real actors. And the imagery is partially inspired by movies, like Sue Dibny's death looks like the famous escape scene from the Shawshank Redemption. Some things obviously needs to be changed, but otherwise the comic is practically manuscript already. Another comic I think could be adapted into a movie is Albion. Alan Moore is my favorite comic book writer. Not that everything he does is gold, but when he do something right, he really gets it right. Albion is the story of a British comic book fan that one day finds out that all of his favorite comic book characters are actual real people. This leads him to a conspiracy that has put most of the characters in a high security prison. The comic is a love letter to old comic book readers, especially those that grew up on British comics. And even if I personally never read any of those comics, I still found Albion to be a very fresh and entertaining read. Now, unlike most of Alan Moore's works, I actually think this is a story that could benefit from a little, be a little bit more for the general audience. Cause sometimes I felt like the story was too dark for its own good, and when this guy learns about the existence of comic book characters, he's in denial about it, when really that moment should be like when we see the first dinosaur in Jurassic Park, or when we see Atlantis in The Little Mermaid for the first time. It should be a big, wonderful, epic moment. Okay, Albion could either be made into a live-action movie, or maybe even better, be a hand-drawn animated feature. Venom: Circle of 4. What an epic concept. Venom, Red Hulk, X-23 and Ghost Rider all go to Las Vegas to stop the forces of hell. That, my friends, is an epically stupid story. It would be great if it wasn't for two things. First, the way all of these guys comes together is kind of clumsy. Second problem is Ghost Rider. This is not the original Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, that we all know and love. Oh no, this is a new, annoying Ghost Rider named Alejandra. That is this egocentric, stupid bitch that never listens and is actually to fault for everything. If they ever make a movie based on this, they should take the opportunity and make it better. Just use the original Ghost Rider. Oh yeah, and this comic has one of the most awesome things in comic book history. Red Hulk with the Spirit of Vengeance and the Venom symbiote on a buffed up version of Ghost Rider's motorcycle. That is fucking awesome. This is something Marvel could make into an animated direct-to-video feature, and I swear people will see it. Yeah, that was the 5 comics that I would like to see become movies sometimes in the future. I would like to hear from you. What comics do you think would be great as, be adapted into movies? See you next time.